Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Today I will be doing a recap of Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 6 and 7. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. And so, in case you guys haven't noticed, I've been gone for about a week now, just taking a social media break. And those of you who have been following my channel from the beginning, you guys know that I do that periodically. It won't be the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time. So, if you don't see me around, I am just taking a much needed social media break, and I will be back soon. And I missed you guys. So I am back and let's get into this Married to Medicine. Um Season 6 was a little lackluster for me, so I really was not excited about doing a recap of season 6. I'm sorry, episode 6. Episode 7 did get a little bit better, so I decided to do both of those episodes together. Hey, Sharon Godball, thank you so much for being here. So, season 6, Dr. Jackie has finally reached her breaking point with Dr. Heavenly and wants her to take accountability, or at least that's what she put out there into the universe. Because right after she did all of that on episode 6, she seemed like she was right back to the same thing where she does not hold Heavenly accountable. So Dr. Contessa said, if this is what friendship looks like, then this ain't the group for me, because she has come to the conclusion that these ladies do not plan on holding Dr. Heavenly accountable. I was happy to see Quad of all people call Heavenly out on the Yo Mama nonsense, because like I said before, I thought we were past the Yo Mama jokes. Like, it's very old, it's very childish, and I thought we had, grown and gotten past the Yo Mama jokes, but apparently not. And I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of Quad bringing up the Napa trip. Okay, we get it. You were hurt to your core. But if you are going to continue to be friends with these ladies, you're going to have to let it go. Because at this point, like, how long ago was the Napa trip? And Quad is still bringing up the Napa trip. And I'm tired of hearing about it. So, hopefully after these last two episodes, she's gotten everything out that she wants to get out about the Napa trip. Simone has apologized, and she even made a joke on the last episode, like, are we kissing on the lips now? Like, basically saying, like, have we moved on past the Napa trip? And it's really sad that she's mainly holding Simone accountable for the Napa trip. I know that Simone was the one who did the talking, but it was a collective decision. Okay. So Simone wasn't just speaking to her all by herself. It, was what all of the ladies were feeling at the time. And Sharon says, finally, at least somebody called Heavenly out. Exactly. Hey, Cece, thank you so much for being here, sis. So, and like, how many times do you expect these ladies to apologize? I know that she was a little bit more upset with Simone because of the reunion and the fact that she was telling Simone not to say, you know, talk about the tragedy that happened in her life. And Simone did end up blurting it out. So I think that was one of the reasons why she, remained upset with Simone, but kind of let the other ladies off the hook. Because at this point, I'm like, Phaedra, what do you want us to do? Give you a kidney? Because even when Quiet brought it up again, Phaedra was sitting back in the cut, like rolling her eyes because she too is tired of hearing about the Napa trip. Okay. And it was Phaedra's eye rolls for me, but it's almost seeming like Quad is, she's an attention seeker and she always has to put the attention back on herself. So that's what it's starting to look like. And don't get me wrong, I like Quad, but she always wants to hold everybody else accountable, but she never holds herself accountable. Okay. And the ladies have pretty much said, like, outside of filming, they don't have a relationship with Quad. And Quad pretty much confirmed it when we found out in these last few episodes, and Quad kind of just put it out there that she has been dating, I think his name is King, for a year, but King says it's been 14 months to be exact. So you pretty much just confirm what these ladies have been saying. Like, you kept your man a whole secret for over a year, but you want these ladies to believe that you really honor their friendship, but they're totally in the dark about what you have going on in your life. And then, Toya wants to call Phaedra out for being so surface, but it looks like Quad is also surface because she's not discussing anything, that's going on in her personal life. She's basically doing the same thing Phaedra is being called out for, which is being surface. Okay. It was great to see the men. It was Dr. G, Cecil, and Dr. Contessa's husband, Scott, hanging out and riding the ATVs without the drama that the ladies bring. Like, I love to see these guys get together and just have a great time. They don't have any issues. It's usually always the ladies that cause all the drama. And Dr. Damon and Eugene, they hung out, and I'm pretty sure that was done on purpose so that those guys could talk to Dr. G, and Damon obviously was responsible. I'm sorry, Eugene was responsible for talking to Dr. Damon to get those two guys, who were having a little situation because of the women, get them back together. And Cece said, uh-oh, she says, I haven't liked Quad since the Mariah mess. She's an ingrate. Mariah put her on. I know. Like, she does give me stormy energy for sure. She does, like the very person that, brought you on, because when Mariah first met Quad, she was in a really bad place. Like, I'm not going to say that she was homeless, but she wasn't in a good place in her life at the time. And Mariah took you from that to where you are now, and you tried to almost steal her show. And Sharon says that she never liked Quad. Um, she just really gives me stormy energy. I don't know what it is about her. She does make for good TV. She's definitely good for TV. To me, Quad is what Dr. Heavenly strives to be. Like, Quad does what she does effortlessly. She brings the shade, she has the clapbacks, all of that stuff. She looks good on TV. I always love the way she dresses. Everything is always on point. And even with her shade, she does it in a very classy way. So I think that's what Dr. Heavenly really likes about Quad, is because Quad is who she aspires to be. But when Heavenly tries to do it, it just does not go over well. Okay. So when Dr. Contessa said, well, what shouldn't she shouldn't and this was in her confessional, and I'm going to repeat that again. She says, well, what shouldn't Dr. Heavenly shouldn't do some things? When she said that, I was laughing so hard because I knew exactly what she was trying to say, but it just came off as a tongue twister. But basically, she was just saying, like, you know, from the way these ladies just let Heavenly do whatever she wants, it's just like there's no boundaries, there's no control, there's no accountability, you know. And I was like, that part. Like, I'm really loving Contessa on this season. She is the only one that is calling Dr. Heavenly out on her BS. Sweet Tea tries, but she just doesn't have enough rah-rah for me. Like, she'll try to come off and say something to Dr. Heavenly, but then it almost seems like she's begging and pleading with her to not do certain things, you know. And, I'm the type of person, I'm going to say it in a way that that if you go there with me again, you're going to think twice about it because you already know what's coming next. Like, I'm not going to continue to say the same thing over and over when you just don't get it. So sometimes you got to take drastic measures, and you know what I'm saying? You got to come with all the smokes because you got to let a bitch know, don't play in my face. Like, I'm not with that. I'm not the one or the two. So, you know what I'm saying? Um, Sweet Tea does not have enough bass in her voice. Like when Dr. Contessa almost slung Dr. Jackie back because she meant business. That's the type of stuff I would be on at my big age because, you're just not fixing to continue to play in my face. Especially the way Dr. Heavenly is playing in all of these ladies' face. It's just really grotesque. And Sharon says, if you put it that way, Quad, I agree, but she needs to get away from Heavenly, though. She really does. And I think she's trying to be a positive influence on Heavenly, but it's just not working. It seems like Heavenly is dealing with some internal things that she doesn't want to talk about it. So she's just taking it out on everybody that, crosses her path the wrong way. So, that's what I feel. And I think that maybe now that Quad is happy with this new man, maybe, she'll come off a little bit better, with the ladies, because that's what it's looking like. Maybe she felt away, when she was single because things really didn't pan out the way that she thought they would. So hopefully we'll get a better Quad from Quad, okay? But again, she does give off the same energy like Dr. Heavenly, like she doesn't want to take accountability. And did y'all see how Dr. Heavenly kept her mouth closed while Dr. Contessa was talking? She don't want no more of Dr. Contessa, okay? That messy bitch was so scared the first time, she called for security. She tries to play all big and bad, but when Contessa was coming for that ass, she backed up because she knows that Contessa is military. She works out. I want to say she runs marathons. So she's not the type of, person that you want to play with. On the other hand, Sweet Tea tries to plead with Dr. Heavenly to hold the insults. When she was doing that, it irked my nerves so bad. Just be ready, for Dr. Heavenly the next time she comes at you. That's all you can do with a person like that. Like, you can't beg and plead for them to stop with the insults because she's just not going to stop. And there's just too much bad blood. So I don't see Sweet Tea and Heavenly ever being friends. And this is just a little side note. When it came to the scene when Phaedra was at her funeral home, I want to say it's hers because I know she did go to school to be a mortician. I really like the outfit that she had on. I love that whole entire look. I love the wig. I love the fit she had on. And I think one of the reasons why I really like what she had on is because Phaedra is known to show a lot of skin, but in this particular scene, everything was covered up and she looked very classy and very professional. And I was really feeling that outfit. And Sharon says, I'm so glad Dr. Contessa is rattling Heavenly's cage. And it looks like that's why they brought her back because, like, she is not letting up on Dr. Heavenly. And she also want Dr. Heavenly to know, like, you're not going to punk me out of my spot. That's why she ended up going to the gala, is because she wants Heavenly to know you don't run anything over here. So, yes, I'm showing up. She advised her husband not to come just because of what she said about him. And maybe it needs to be at another, you know, event or meetup where it's not a professional situation where it's going to make him look bad because he is a doctor. So, moving on to episode 7, the Mean Girls Gala. So it started out, they were having the celebration. No, I'm sorry. The first celebration that they had on episode 7 was at Dr. Heavenly's lake house in honor of her son Zach going to dental school. Now, I really love, that house, on the lake, that whole scene. They got a boat. And I would like to see more of that side of Heavenly. Like, that was a really good look for her. The family time, inviting everyone to come over to her second home, because we all know that she's into real estate. So she has several properties. So that was a really good look for Dr. Heavenly. If we can get that all the time, then, maybe we would soften up about Dr. Heavenly. I mean, she was still throwing her little shade here or there, but we don't mind the fun shade. It's the low to the ground shade that she chooses, to spew out at people. And obviously, Sweet Tea and Contessa weren't invited, which we didn't expect them to be because we already know that Dr. Heavenly doesn't see it for them. So after Toya said that she wanted Dr. Heavenly to apologize for the Yo Mama comment, Dr. Heavenly brought Phaedra into the mess, throwing shade, and said, I don't want to promise something like Phaedra and do not deliver. It's just like, wow. Like, Phaedra had nothing to do with this conversation, and she just caught a stray. Like, that's the type of low down dirty stuff that Heavenly does. The only person that she really don't come for like that is Dr. Jackie. Everybody else can get it when it comes to Heavenly. And then when Heavenly said that, her friend, speaking of Jackie, came to her frantic, you know, and said that Phaedra hasn't done anything, like just counting Phaedra out without even giving her a chance to prove herself. Like, Fraser didn't think it was a big deal because she was just like, I'm gonna try to raise this money, but if I don't reach the goal of 100,000, like, baby, I got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll just come out the pocket with it. So that's what Phaedra was on. And Phaedra bossed up on their ass and said, I'm going to get it, even if I have to take it out of my own money. Because what I'm not going to do is let these bitches like y'all be saying that I'm not going to say what I'm not going to do. So basically, she already had a plan. If I don't raise this money, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I need to do because she's not going to let them continue with this narrative that, she said that she was going to come up with $100,000 and that not happen. Like, y'all not going to throw no salt on Phaedra name because we all know that if Phaedra don't know how to do anything else, Phaedra knows how to get the bag. And she has multiple sources of income, and she's a second Candy Burris. She has many jobs. Okay, so what y'all not gonna do is playing Phaedra face like that. And when Phaedra said that, it was that moment that I realized that Phaedra is actually good for Married to Medicine. She walks it like she talks it, and she don't need to be married to medicine. You know what I'm saying? She's just might be making more money than the couples, the husband and wife put together as a single woman. So, just because she's not married to medicine does not mean that she's not in the same lane with these couples on this show. So, I firmly agree with Latoya when she said that they shouldn't ask Contessa and Sweet Tea for money for the Met Gala when they're always being excluded. The rest of the group will not hold Dr. Heavenly accountable. So I feel like that these women should not come out the pocket and have to pay anything when it came to the Met Gala. And Sharon says, Heavenly must have forgotten Phaedra is a boss. She's about her money. And that's why they don't like her. You know what I'm saying? Because Toya, obviously, she depends heavily on Eugene's check. Okay. Like I've, said in the past, she's had several business ventures that obviously we don't hear about them anymore. So they didn't go over well. So she depends on her husband's check more than anybody on this show. So I believe that's why she's always coming for Phaedra. If Phaedra does have a man, that's just going to add to what she already has. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because she's going to maintain without a man. And I think that's what Latoya doesn't like. But yes, if I was not Toya, Contessa, and I'm sure they gave something, but I wouldn't be so quick to give up my money to these people who it's almost like they got too big to be a part of the circle. And then when um Dr. Jackie made Dr. Heavenly the Coco chair person, when she knows that she has issues with at least two of the ladies, I didn't agree with that either. Like, why couldn't you have chosen somebody else who's not feuding with all of the ladies? So it was almost like she brought Dr. Heavenly on to try to show um Phaedra up, but it didn't work. And she brought Dr. Heavenly on so that she could throw salt on Phaedra's name, like she wasn't going to come up with the money. So she just had to just messy it up, pretty much, inviting her friend, Dr. Heavenly, to be the co chairperson. And I have to say this Dr. Jackie, she really rubbed me the wrong way this episode and last episode, but especially episode 7. She really rubbed me the wrong way. And speaking of Dr. Heavenly's son, Zach, I do want to acknowledge and say congratulations to Zach and his parents, which happens to be Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly, for raising a future doctor because Black physicians only make up 6% of the medical field. So that's a big accomplishment. So, congratulations to their family. I'm very happy to see that. And Sharon said Dr. Jackie and Heavenly are the same messy. They are, but um Jackie just tends to do like Quad and she's messy in a classy type of way, if that's a thing. And Dr. Heavenly is just gutter. She's just gutter and ghetto with it. So I do think that that's the difference. And honestly, if Dr. Jackie wasn't just like Heavenly, I really don't think she would be able to be her friend. The fact that you are so cool with Heavenly says a lot that you're the same type of person, honestly, because if you were not the same type of person as Dr. Heavenly, like you couldn't be such good friends with her. And that's just my opinion. And Sharon says true. And just like Sweet Tea said, you can't be that close to a devil and not have devilish ways. So Sweet Tea hit the nail right on the head because that's exactly how I feel about Dr. Jackie. Like you can't be so close to the devil and not have devilish ways. And did y'all see how Dr. Jackie's eyes lit up when Dr. Heavenly walked in? When they were at the gala, but of course, since they were hosting, they got there early, and they were doing like the prep for the Met Gala. And when Dr. Heavenly got there, it was just like Jackie's eyes lit up. And she greeted her with a big hug and told her that, she loves her, whatever. And I'm still trying to figure out. I thought her and Simone was like besties and had been besties for like 10 years. Like Heavenly just moved in on their friendship and basically took her best friend. Like she dropped Dr. Simone like a hot potato. And I just couldn't understand why. Like you dropped Dr. Simone for Dr. Heavenly? Okay. Okay, girl. Now we know what you're really about. And on top of that, when you got drugged last year, you were on Dr. Heavenly's platform when that happened. When you said those egregious things, and you were dragged for it, you were actually on Dr. Heavenly's platform. If she had been on any other platform, I promise you, she would not have been drugged the way that she was drugged. You went on a messy channel, so the people that follow Dr. Heavenly, they're there for the mess. So they created mess. And you said what you said, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you had said those same words on another platform, it would have went over everybody's head. Real talk. And she says, she sure did. And hey, sound checker Ned, thank you so much for being here. And she says, hi, hello everyone, hit that like button. And she says, not feeling my best. And sound checker Ned, thank you so much for checking on me when I was on my social media break. You know what I'm saying? Like you my kind of peoples. You're that person that checks up to make sure everything is good. And I love that. And I love your support. Thank you so much. And where was I? Yeah, and as long as Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie was friends, like now it just seems like it's just Jackie and Heavenly. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. My phone is so loud. Okay. Now, where was I? She is speaking to everybody. Yeah, so it seems like once Dr. Heavenly came into the picture, like the whole dynamics of Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone's relationship totally changed. So I don't know if it was something that we didn't see that happened behind the scenes, but after they fell out, which I feel like Dr. Heavenly had a lot to do with that, they never went back to the way they were, before and being besties and all. And as soon as Dr. Heavenly got to the Met Gala, before it actually started, she walked right in and started questioning, Dr. Jackie on what Phaedra had done. And I just couldn't understand, like why was she so interested in what Phaedra had done for the Met Gala? Because it was honestly, it was supposed to be a group effort between all of the ladies. Obviously, Phaedra was the co-chairperson, but it was still supposed to be a group effort. And she immediately wanted to point out the fact that Phaedra hadn't did anything. And I have to say this, but I'm going to say this again. Dr. Contessa, and I've said it before, is what I mean to say. Dr. Contessa cannot dress to save her life. She was literally trying to wear a crown that looked like the Statue of Liberty to the Met Gala. Please fix it, Jesus. I mean, it seems like she tries very hard, but she can't bring a look together to save her life. Now, that green dress that she ended up wearing to the Met Gala, it was just okay for me. I didn't like it. I thought it was a little bit too short for her height, you know, but hey, she she really does need a stylist. And even though Dr. Heavenly had something to say and tried to throw shade at Sweet Tea, I actually loved Sweet Tea's look. And even though Heavenly, had something to say about it, the dress that Heavenly had on looks, everything Heavenly wears look like something she's worn before. Like nothing, fancy. It's always just okay and plain, basically. So, she wanted to come for Sweet Tea's dress, but I didn't like Dr. Heavenly's dress at all. It was just the same basic dress that she always wears to these events. And the best thing that happened for me at the Met Gala was that Dr. G and Dr. Damon was able to have a conversation. They were able to hash out their issues and move forward with the handshake. And I really love to see it. And of course, Dr. Heavenly was on the other side of the room watching Dr. Damon as usual because she wanted them to continue to be feuding, but that's not what happened. Those men got them back together, which is what they were supposed to be doing. And at the end, all of the men shared a group hug. So then here comes Heavenly trying to pull Dr. Damon away to take a picture when he's spending quality time with the men and they're bonding. Like such a hater. And Sharon said Dr. Contessa looks great, but her fashion style could improve. Yes, like, she's a nice looking lady. And the thing about it is, she looks really good in her confessionals, but it's when she's actually filming her scenes, she looks a hot mess. Like, even when they did the scene at her house and she's having construction done, on her in her pool area, she had on some boots, I think, and a dress. Like, she was looking a hot mess as usual. But I'm not gonna, take take anything away from Dr. Contessa because I mean, it's just not everybody's forte. Like everybody just doesn't have it in them to dress. Some people need a little help, and she needs to get that help. No shade. But yes, I was very irritated when Heavenly tried to pull Dr. Damon away from the guys. So I think it was Cecil who stepped up to say, well, can you give us a couple of minutes? Like, we're having a real moment here. That's exactly why she came at that moment. She wanted to ruin the moment, and she didn't want those men to repair their friendship just because she has no intentions on repairing her friendship with Sweet Tea. But yes, that group hug that those men had, that was everything. So, Dr. Heavenly, you can just take that L because you were not successful in ruining this long term friendship between these professional men. Okay. And then when that hussy asked Dr. G if he wanted to bid on taking Phaedra out on a date. I'm like, oh my God, like this is too much. That is so disrespectful because, first of all, his wife is standing there. Like, do you not have any boundaries? Like, that was so tacky for her to say that at a professional setting amongst mainly doctors. Like, she has no filter. And I'm really going to need, Dr. Damon to check his wife because now he looking like a punk ass nigga. And Cece said, she's talking to Sharon. She says, I saw a video of Dr. Contessa's home. It's beautiful, but the furnishings are lacking. Her taste level needs to be elevated for her station or hire a stylist and interior designer. Okay, so I'm just talking about her dress. So Cece took it a little bit further and said that even her entire interior decorating needs some help. And I noticed that too, CC, but I wasn't gonna mess with that. But you are absolutely right. She could improve, in that area as well. And Sharon says, Heavenly always steals Dr. Damon's joy. She does. And she makes people not like him because honestly, if Heavenly was not the way that she is, I don't believe people would be coming at Dr. Damon the way that they do. As a matter of fact, I think that they would like him even more and they wouldn't even care about the fact that he could be potentially cheating on her. Okay. So you know, she doesn't realize that she brings a lot of this mess onto her husband, who seems like, otherwise, the fact that he's married to Dr. Heavenly, he seems like a pretty decent guy, and I'm not, condoning him cheating if that's what he's doing, which is looking like it is, because we have to keep in mind 3 women has called out Dr. Heavenly for her husband cheating. Okay. We had Dr. Contessa, who said, at least I don't have to worry about mixed babies out here with the possible name of Kymes. So she called out Dr. Damon for cheating. We all know that Sweet Tea said that Dr. Heavenly told her that when Mariah said she had the receipts on Damon, she believed her. So that leaves, her to believe that he has cheated. Okay. And, so if it's a lie, Dr. Heavenly told it because that's what she said to Sweet Tea. And we will never forget that famous scene where Mariah said, Do you want me to bring the receipts? Because I got the receipts. Ask him what he really likes. Like, I think that scene is going to go down in history, honey, because that walk that Mariah had and that look she had on her face, Dr. Heavenly knew not to play with her. And, you know, from what I heard, in my opinion, I don't know how true it is, allegedly, it was said that Dr. Damon personally went to Mariah and asked her to not put those receipts out there. Okay. So she did that for Dr. Damon, on the strength that outside of his personal life and him as a husband, he seems to be a pretty decent guy. So she didn't want to be the one that put that out there because her beef really wasn't with Dr. Damon, it was with Dr. Heavenly. And Sharon says, I would cheat if I was married to someone like Heavenly. And that's why I said, outside of the accusations, he seems to be a really nice guy. And I think that because of her mess, she puts him in uncomfortable situations. Like even when they were in the confessionals and Dr. Heavenly was shading Phaedra, saying, Oh, ain't nobody gonna pay for something that they already had, saying that's why nobody wanted to pay $4,000 to date Phaedra. He was like bumping her leg, trying to tell her to stop it. You know what I'm saying? So I think he tries to shut her up, but he just doesn't try hard enough. And I'm gonna need him to try a little bit harder because at the end of the day, now it's having an impact on you and your friendships and your professional relationships. Because not only is Dr. G your friend, you know what I'm saying? You guys do professional business together. So you're going to allow your wife to take away, you know what I'm saying, from money that you could potentially be making and business that you guys could be, sharing amongst each other because your wife can't keep her mouth shut. Like, if for nothing else, for that reason alone, Dr. Damon really needs to call Dr. Hemley out on her bullshit. But what it's really looking like is that Dr. Hemley has something on Dr. Damon, and it could be those kids that Dr. Contessa was speaking of. The fact that he has had outside kids, okay? And somebody, I don't know where I seen it, so don't start me lying, but somebody said, I seen it somewhere that they went to visit Dr. Heavenly and she had baby milk in her cabinet. Like, what would she be doing with that? As if somebody, they were babysitting some kids or something like that. So, I'm pretty sure that it's going to come out because what you do in the dark, it definitely comes to light. And Sharon says, and it is rumored that Dr. Damon has two outside children, allegedly. Yeah, and I'm thinking that that's why Dr. Heavenly is always so angry and why she's trying to downplay everybody else's marriage and say these things about their husband is because she's dealing with a cheating husband, that could potentially have outside babies. And I think Dr. Heavenly knows that at some point his dirt is going to come out. It's just a matter of time. And I can't wait. I'm here for it. And honestly, if I was Dr. Damon, I would put it out there myself. Like, don't ever let nobody spill your dirt. I would just put it out there myself and let everybody know I made a mistake. This is what's happened twice if he has two kids. But I made a mistake and I'm staying with my wife and we're working on our marriage. Like, he really does need to come out and make a statement. And I really feel like if he did that, it would take Dr. Heavenly out of her misery because the secret would be out. She doesn't have to hide it anymore. She doesn't have to live in fear of people finding out their dirt. So when they were done with the auction, and they did pretty good before they counted up the money. So then, they went to the back so that, Dr. Jackie, Phaedra, and Heavenly, they went to the back so that they can count up the money to see how much they raised. Dr. Heavenly couldn't wait to see how Phaedra was going to come back from her $100,000 goal. Like, oh my God, she couldn't wait. So Big Faye put her money where her mouth is and donated the remaining money that they did not raise. So they raised 53,000 and $340. So that left $46,660. So Dr. Heavenly said, "That's a lot of money, Phaedra." And she said, "Bitch, I got it." Okay. Well, actually, those are my words, not Phaedra's, but Phaedra came through. Hey, Paula, thank you so much for being here. I think you came once before, and I'm glad to see you come back. So, the mean girl, Dr. Jackie, had the nerve to throw shade after Phaedra Dunn donated $47,000, and she said that she was proud of Phaedra for understanding that $47,000 is small change for her. And then she followed up with, "These are, my kind of friends. These are the kind of friends that you need." So I kind of wish that she would have just thanked Phaedra and not throw any shade because almost $50,000 is a lot of money for someone to donate, and you still had shady comments to make. So I really didn't like that. And that was pretty much the way episode 7 went out. So shout out to Phaedra for saving the day and standing on business and standing on her word. But I could have really done without the shade that Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly thrown her way when this lady donated the same amount as everybody put together. Like, she really deserved more than the shade that these ladies wanted to throw her way. And I really, I felt like they should have been more thankful and just really gave Phaedra her props instead of trying to throw shades. That was really messy work. So yes, guys, that is going to be the end of my recap for Married to Medicine, episode 6 and 7. Now, after episode 6, I was starting to kind of decline. I was just like, this show is getting a little boring. You know what I'm saying? And not only was it getting boring, it was also turning into, a version of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, because we expect so much more from this group of people, with them being professionals and especially Black professional doctors and doctors' wives. Like, we're going to hold them at a higher standard than everybody else because people are already going to have their expectations of a Black doctor. So don't prove them right. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like they were going down the same road, as Love and Marriage Huntsville. So hopefully, you know, they'll pull it together because this is not what we want to see. We don't want to see no ghetto doctors on a reality TV show. Like, we want to see a little more class, a little fun shade. We don't want to see fighting. Like, these people have too much to lose. We don't want to see anybody end up in jail. You know what I'm saying? Over this TV show. So, and then on top of that, I feel like Heavenly is doing the same thing with Love and Marriage. She's doing the same thing when it comes to bringing this show to social media, kind of like what, you know, is happening on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I don't want to see that either. I want to keep Married to Medicine on the TV. Like, I don't want this show, I don't want to have to read more about them on social media than I actually see on the show itself. Like, I don't want that for them. And Sharon said, a simple thank you would have been fine. That was low down shade. Yeah, that was very low down, honestly, because ain't nobody, giving up no $47,000 like that, to help you recover from the dragging that you got, you know, last year. And I was glad that Phaedra called her out on that, saying that she helped her clean up the mess that she made when she got drugged last year. You know what I'm saying? So I think Phaedra is kind of done with these people. I know she's, supposedly she's not coming back, although I like her own Married to Medicine, honestly. And when she's on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, or when she returns on that show, I just don't want her to try to, like, dumb herself down to fit in with these ladies, because one thing that we know about Phaedra is she's very private and she's very classy. So I don't want her getting with Portia, like what they're doing now, traveling over, I mean, it's okay to travel, have fun, date guys because she's single, but I don't want her to start to get a reputation like the reputation that Portia has. That's the only thing that I don't want for her. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of like her on Married to Medicine. It's just a better class of people. That's all I'm trying to say. And Sharon says Heavenly is on the wrong show, period. Heavenly don't need to be on nobody's show. Heavenly needs to be on YouTube. That's where Heavenly needs to be. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the recap, and I hope that you hit that like button on your way in. And if you have not done so, I hope that you hit the like button on the way out. And, if you're catching the replay, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. And let me say this really quickly before I leave. Sharon says Portia will be her downfall. And that's how I kind of feel, Sharon. I want to say that I truly, truly, truly enjoyed my social media break. But it gave me a lot of time to really think about my channel, the direction I want to go with my channel, and different things like that. On top of reviewing and recapping these shows, I also want fun on my channel. I really love doing the trivia, and I'm going to do another one really soon, possibly on Friday. So, guys, if you love the trivia, and Cece, I hope you come for the trivia, but I am going to switch it up and do different types of trivia. But I love just kind of like getting away from all of the chaos that goes on these reality TV shows and just doing something fun, So I will definitely incorporate trivia so that we can have fun on my channel. I don't want it to always be about recapping shows, talking about celebrities and, the deep stuff that they're experiencing in their life. Hey, dear Yvette, thank you so much for stopping through. And Cece said, have a blessed day, everyone. And Cece said, trivia is fun. And on Friday, when we do trivia, I think we're going to do some musical trivia. So for those of you who like music, hip hop, R&B, be ready for Friday because we are going to do trivia. And we're going to kind of we're going to go back and forth. We're going to do one type of trivia this time, and then we're going to do something different because otherwise it looks like Cece might win every time because she's really good with trivia. But if you know somebody that likes trivia, make sure you share my channel with them so that they can come over so that Cece can have some competition when we're doing the trivia. We know she's going to come in and do her thing. Hey, Tiambi Fields, thank you so much for being here. And I think this is my first time seeing here. So I hope you subscribe to the channel and I hope you come back and visit us again. And dear Yvette says, yes, I love your trivia. Thank you so much, dear Yvette. So make sure you're here on Friday. And Paula says she's here for it as well. And Cece said, no, I won't. I can just support. Well, it's going to be different this Friday, Cece. So I'm not sure how your musical trivia is. So, you might have some competition on Friday, Cece. So don't worry. We're going to switch it up a little bit, but then we're going to go back to all types of trivia. It's not going to just be, either or. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. So that way everybody, can participate and everybody can have the chance to, win or whatever the case may be. The last time Cece came in first place and Braden Lee came in second place and it was a good time. So yes, guys, I'm going to be back before then, but I just wanted to put it out there that I will be incorporating trivia on my channel on a regular basis, just so that we can have some good times on top of all the mess. Okay. So that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for coming through, guys. And make sure that you have liked the video and subscribe to my channel, especially if you're watching the replay. And that's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching and bye for now.